Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, in today's video, we'll be talking about three sins that kill productivity. So, if you used to be ambitious, driven, used to have plans for helping the ummah, retiring your parents, building masajid, if you used to have all these beautiful dreams and goals, but now you suddenly feel lazy, you feel heavy, and you feel unmotivated, this video will explain exactly why. Most Muslims think that laziness comes from burnout or a lack of motivation, but that doesn't explain something important. It doesn't explain why you used to have that fire, why you used to have that ambition to help the ummah and to do good, and why that drive slowly disappeared. You didn't suddenly become lazy. Something was slowly draining you. And in Islam, laziness is often not a sim- it- laziness is often a symptom, not the root problem. The root problem is sins weighing down the heart. And when the heart becomes heavy, the body follows. That's why discipline advice stops working. Now you might be wondering why these three sins specifically. Honestly, because I did my research and these were the sins that I found which attack the engine of action. Like they literally make you lazy. And yeah, these are also sins that directly damage your energy and your drive in this life. That's why their effect shows up as laziness. So let me show you. The first one is haram content. I've been studying Ibn al-Qayyim's work here and there, and one of the conclusions that I drew was that sins remove mental clarity. So they actually they actually hijack your brain and they hijack your dopamine. So they make you lose focus, they make you lose hunger, they make you lose that drive. And worst of all, you feel tired without even doing anything. And that's not just laziness, that's actually poisoned focus. And a few of these sins include obviously corn, also like half-naked influencers on your feed, celebrity gossip on your feed, even content with music with like dirty lyrics. Like all these count as haram content and they make you feel this way. Now, the second sin is gossiping. Allah compares it to eating the flesh of your dead brother. Now just pause and think about this scene for a second. Like that scene is so disgusting that you barely want to picture it for more than 2 seconds. And Allah compares this to gossiping, which is a sin that we see daily. May Allah keep us away from it. And the worst part about gossiping is that it doesn't just harm others, it literally destroys your self-image. And when you don't see yourself as worthy of achieving your goals, you won't take the action required to actually go out and achieve them. So this ruins your drive. The third one is constant complaining. Allah says in the Quran, if you're grateful, I will certainly give you more. And complaining is the exact opposite of gratitude. Like complaining is literally ingratitude. You're literally being ungrateful to Allah. Because there's always something to be grateful about. It might be a sip of water that you had in the morning, or going to school on time, or it's just these little things that if you constantly like belittle, then your heart just becomes hard. And when your heart becomes hard and you're always complaining, you block blessings from flowing to you. Shukr is very, very important, like no matter how small it is. And psychologically, what complaining does to you is that it kills your growth because when you're constantly being negative, you lose the drive and the ambition and the willingness to take action. So when someone says that they're just lazy now, what they're actually saying is their heart is tired. Let me just draw this down. Their heart is tired and it needs a fix. And you cannot fix a heart problem with productivity hacks. That's why things like Notion or to-do lists or motivational podcasts, like these things help you in the short term, but they don't actually fix what's wrong with your heart. Because you can't fix a spiritual problem with physical physical solutions. And the, and another problem is that these tools assume that the problem is discipline, but when your heart is drained, discipline collapses at the root. But here is the hopeful part. One of the Sahaba of the Prophet ﷺ said that you cannot stop disobeying Allah except with His help. So he was actually referring to the statement La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. And what this powerful dhikr means is you cannot sorry, it means there's no change in condition and there is no strength except through Allah. So if you suffer, like if you constantly repeat any of these sins or any sin in general for that matter, repeat the statement whenever the urges come. Repeat it whenever you feel like motivation drops, and repeat it when you feel weak. Because to actually quit these sins, it's not about drive or discipline. Like you actually need Allah's permission to quit all of these sins. And the best way you can do that is asking for His help. And yeah, so just repeat the statement. I'm not going to give you a number, but just repeat it as often as you can. 100. Oh, sorry, I said I'm not going to give any numbers. But yeah, just repeat it as often as you can. So yeah, and oh yeah, I forgot to mention that the beautiful thing about leaving these sins is that your focus, your focus will return, time will expand, and your work will feel easier. Your work will feel lighter because that's exactly what happens when Barakah comes back. And I built Barakah Flow to help you do 10 hours of work in just 2 using the power of Barakah so that you go through less stress and less burnout and you actually have more time for your family and more time for your deen. For those of you who feel like they're they're lacking in family time and they're lacking the deen. So if that's something that you're missing, yeah, you'll find Barakah Flow in the link in the description. And I'd like to hear your feedback. Yeah, this is still my second video, so yeah, thank you very much. Jazakallah khair. I wish you nothing but the best.